Ready? What is going on? The catch. Fam, I hope everyone out there has had a great weekend. Hope you guys have had a great Sunday. Hope you guys are ready for another live 2024 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, with the catch fam. We've got one spot open, and once that spot opens, we're probably going to start right away. No random order tonight, so where you guys are at is where you're stuck. And we're going to have some fun tonight. As always, we're going to talk some fantasy football. Pete's in the house. We got Vikings news.
No, we don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not great, but we do have something to talk about, just not under the the same light that we usually are excited to talk about. But we'll get into that tonight. Other than that, what's going on, Pete?
Not much. I was having a nice Sunday, chill Sunday, relaxing, and then we get this bomb dropped on us. So that's awesome. Good job, Jordan Addison. Good job.
Yeah. Let me send out the final warnings here on Discord and Sleeper, and then we're gonna hop right into this bad boy. Let's start it off. Okay. So, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving after being caught asleep at the wheel near LAX. And that's really all the information we have. So we'll have more details come out in the next couple of days, I assume, if not the next day or two. And really, this is going to be another situation where we probably won't have a lot of word from the NFL. I will probably like a statement from the Vikings, but like in terms of if Addison's going to be suspended, man, I really wanted to go Bijan or Brees just but I feel like I have to go JJ here. In terms of what the suspension is going to look like, assuming there will be suspension, we probably won't know until like the end of the month or August. These things just take time. Like, look at the Rashee Rice situation, very different, but that's just usually how. I mean, we'll know before the season. Rashee Rice thing happened much earlier in the offseason, but we're gonna sit around and speculate is the point I'm making, and especially for Vikings fans, I don't know how healthy that is, right?
No, it's not great, but a suspension is coming, I would bet. Probably not a big one.
And I'm trying to look up. So if it's a first time DUI offense for the NFL, it's a 1 game minimum and then a 1 game check. They have to be legally deemed responsible for, the DUI.
So he has to get convicted. So he has to get convicted.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard. From everything I've gathered, he got arrested and released that night. So they had to have taken a blood test, because if they didn't, they don't have anything. He's going to get like a traffic citation because he was asleep blocking the road.
Right. And then it kind of comes down to like, does the NFL just suspend him anyways, right? Because there's enough they're going to do their own investigation, right? So, and then it can come down to do the Vikings want to suspend him? So
that's never happened. I don't think I've seen a team suspend a guy for like personal conduct that the NFL isn't, unless it's like, they're missing meetings or something like that.
Just right.
Goofy things like that.
And as people pointed out, right, last offseason we had the incident with him speeding. So Jordan Addison and Carr is not a good combo.
Get him a driver. I mean,
I know, right?
I guess the speeding makes sense if you think back. He's a guy who grew up in LA. He was in LA for a year or whatever, and he can't really drive in LA because there's nothing but traffic. So maybe he just was excited to be on an open road or something. But yeah, it's not great. Not great.
So Saints safety Marcus May was suspended 3 games in connection with a 2021 DUI case. Outside of the Henry Ruggs incident, which is obviously much more severe and tragic and awful, I think that's the last DUI I can find for an NFL player. Other than wait, Vikings offensive coordinator Wes Phillips. I don't know
Yep,
why
that
that
happened
popped
this
up.
offseason too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got suspended without pay for a month.
Just like hold on, I'm gonna try and fact check myself here a little bit more aggressively. I've got the entire list of NFL suspensions in front of me. So let me scroll to the bottom. Oh wait, these are in category. Oh, this isn't gonna help. This is only that's annoying. I don't know if you guys can think of another player and what their suspension was, let me know. But I think that's the last player that I can find at least. I'm sorry. I don't know why I think it's ironic that Wes Phillips pops up on the search.
It's not good. Yeah, because after that it's a bad look.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think even before that, it's Chiefs cornerback Sean Smith. But once again, a 3-game suspension. So I won't be surprised if that's what they give Addison.
Yeah, 4. Maybe it's 4 and it gets knocked down to 3.
Yeah, that would make sense. So we'll see.
That's pretty big.
It is big.
Especially since you have to win week 1 or your season is pretty much over. They play the Niners and the Texans the next 2 weeks.
So let's talk potential fantasy implication. I guess this would be good for, in the short term, Justin Jefferson, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess.
That's really the only, like, I think like, so there's that, right? It means more targets early on for Justin Jefferson. But once again, like, I don't think that really matters. Like, you're still going to draft JJ where you're drafting him, right? But look at you going triple running back over there.
Don't talk about it.
What it could do is it could definitely affect Jordan Addison's ADP. And everything aside, right? We're talking pure fantasy here. Like, if Addison falls back like 2 rounds and faces a 3-game suspension, I'm still going to draft Jordan Addison at that ADP for sure. I'd probably like him more at that ADP than anything. So we'll see what happens. But based on our detailed research,
our brief research, it's looking anywhere from 1 to 4 games. Yeah. Probably 3.
Yeah. But let us know in the chat what you guys think, and I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on it in terms of potential fantasy outcomes. Probably not a whole lot, but gave us something to talk about. We've been wanting something to talk about. At least training camps. Now you really want training camp to get here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cameron in the house. What's up, my dude? Good to see you. By the way, for any Underdog drafters, I might do an Underdog draft after this. I might not. I'll keep you guys in suspense. Jordan Addison, not a smart individual. Man.
Clearly.
Two mistakes in a row like that, 2 years in a row. I don't like to see that, for sure. Especially when you got a caliber wide receiver on the team in front of you in Justin Jefferson, because JJ, like, outside of football, like, super, super good, like, dude, and, like, got to think a great locker room dude and, like, leader and everything. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's another point, Taylor. It's just awful. Right after his teammate passed away in an accident
I did not hear there was alcohol involved in the accident with Kyrie Jackson.
That I did, but it was kind of like the details were murky. But I don't know if it was I don't think the driver was necessarily potentially I don't know. There's alcohol involved with something I read along the lines, but either way,
it's bad. It's a bad stretch.
Yeah, the Chiefs were having like the worst like off-season stretch in like history, and now it feels like the Vikings are starting to pick up a little. But you know, I mean, at least I guess at the end of the day, Jordan Addison safe, and you know, it just I don't know, man. Some of these, because Addison and Rashee Rice in the same draft class. Yeah.
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 No. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know. Those two need to get it together.
No. Rashee Rice was a year earlier.
Wait, you're right. He's a year earlier. And then didn't something happen recently with Zay Flowers?
Yeah, he fumbled the football.
Now that I remember. But man, maybe not. Okay. Enough about suspensions or no suspensions and players being bad. Just get it together, guys. Okay. We're trying to draft fantasy teams, and it makes it more difficult when you guys are making mistakes like this off the field. Okay. J-Dub's, good to see you, my dude. What's up? What's up? Speaking of, well, I'll go Hollywood Brown here. It's against sleeper ADP. I think I did this last mock draft, but I just don't. So wide receiver 4, I don't care. I almost went Rashee Rice there.
You need wide receivers. Yeah, that hurt. Thanks, J-Dub. I'm not happy with this. What do I have here? I guess I'm gonna have to settle for Keenan Allen here. I can't go Rashee Rice or Jordan Addison at that.
Yeah, interesting for you to go. I don't know if I've ever seen you go triple running back.
It was too tasty. It paid off too. I was a little worried there. I was okay with Pittman or Diggs, and I was like, as long as both don't get drafted, I'm okay.
I'm a little upset because I almost went Pacheco over DJ Moore, but I like DJ Moore in that range. Like I would take DJ Moore like early third.
Yeah.
And I didn't really expect Pacheco to come back to me at 4.5, but if you look at the board, all wide receivers, tight ends, I'm okay with James Cook there. But I'm a little upset that you got my guy there. So. And then this is another tough. I might go wide receiver again. I have to remember this is not Underdog. It's not a best ball draft.
It's not. You're gonna have to go running back. Come on.
I know. I'm afraid. I'll go Kamara.
I'm actually Kamara 6'5". Yeah, that's a good spot for him.
There's other guys I'm tempted there.
Monty, you would have wanted.
I do like. Well, and Monty's there. Yeah. I might still go Kamara in like a full PPR. But there's even some guys that I might reach for. Like DeAndre Swift is second highest ranked running back available at the moment. So I do like the idea of starting a team with Cook and Swift for the reception upside. But I think Kamara still fits that kind of build too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here.
Pretty wide receiver heavy draft, it looks like.
Usually is with this crowd. Stober, where's Steven? Steven is actually at the beach, but I have been trying to get Steven to come on for like 1 or 2 streams before the season starts, or like at least week 1, just to like see all you guys. But yeah, Steven's just work life has caught up with him far too much, and he's just not able to stream or make content with the channel, unfortunately. But he's in the dynasty leagues, so, and he'll be probably in the redraft leagues too, so you guys can make fun of him if you join the leagues. But I'll let him know you said hello. Sir Bongs a lot, hello, good to see you. Chris, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Zay had an assault thing. That's what it was, but it was dropped. For some reason, I thought I read like an update on it recently, but I'm probably wrong. So, my mistake. I don't know. For some reason, I was starting to like put together bad juju from that draft class, but Rasheed Rice was a year earlier. Zay Flowers thing dropped, so I am wrong. Emil, good to see you. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? It's that time of year. I mean, right. Oh, I'm on the clock. Hold on, man. Oh, this is a tough pick right here. Why is okay? I'm gonna go Zamir White. I'm not gonna overthink it. Yeah, Rasheed Rice is like even is tempting right there. But I already got one Kansas City share, so I'll move along. But I don't know. I still kind of view Rasheed Rice as that like the more consistent type player potentially once he's back from his assumed suspension. Then Hollywood's like that kind of upside, might not always be consistent. So, but Zamir White for me as a RB3 feels really good right there. So let's move along. Pete staying quiet over there, unraveling his strategy slowly.
I got it. I mean,
Okay.
I know it. Unless Colts really goes off the wall here, I'm good. I got it.
I don't know what direction.
Yeah. He's not going off the wall. He's not going double tight end with Laporta.
I know the tight end thing always seems like it hits you.
I'm not letting it happen again. I don't have any Jake Ferguson. I haven't drafted Jake Ferguson, and I like Jake Ferguson a lot.
That's our guy. That's Fergie. I was really hoping that Watson would slip out here, but honestly, like I'm not even expecting that to happen in real drafts. Stroud is really intriguing right here with an ADP of 41, but I'm just going to take a wide receiver.
This quarterback draft is a little all over the place.
Every draft we do, quarterbacks all over the place. You know,
there's no consistency. We have no read on what's going to happen at quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, as July progresses, and then really once we get into August, I think people will draft them a little bit more aggressively as we get closer to September. But it's just hard to say. As long as they're going, like I always say, as long as they're going in like somewhat of a close to normal ADP order, it doesn't really bother me, you know. But I like Burrow at 6'8" is a little bit earlier than we've seen in a lot of mocks recently, but I don't have a problem with it. And Shane has Chase, so once again, it's not best ball, but people will still stack and redraft as well. But man, I mean, we're going in the 9th round and Stroud is still there. I just think it's that time of year where like positional players are just like, I don't know, they feel so hard to pass on. Najee or Zamir for redraft in a PPR league. I mean, honestly, for me, both these players like don't really bring a ton of tremendous value in a PPR style. Like, if it's half PPR or full PPR, I'm not really like, you know, I don't know. Both these guys are more like down runners than anything. I prefer Zamir White personally because I think he's going to have a lot more volume, be more of a workhorse back. Where Najee's fine, but Jalen Warren's there. And Najee had plenty of double-digit performances last year, but you just never know what you're going to get, especially with Jalen Warren looming around. And the first half of the season for Najee was bad. And for some reason, the fantasy playoffs outside of week 15, so week 16, 17 is actually quite good. But I gotta go Zamir White. Plus, he's a little bit cheaper in drafts too. So just give me Gus the Bus here.
Your boy.
That's my boy. Yeah, weird. I'm okay with this draft, actually. Oh, by the way, we have 6 bench spots on, so in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, Victor, I'll go Zamir White. regardless of format, really.
Oh, damn it. I'm glad J-Dubs didn't make me have to make that decision.
I think with having Diggs on the team, you probably have to if he's there. But you kind of need Javonte. That makes sense.
Yeah,
too.
I kind of need a
I
running
got you.
back.
Sometimes it's nice to get sniped. Just takes the option off the table.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that kind of temptation in front of me.
But at this point in the draft, I mean, it's kind of wondering when Stroud was going to go. Okay, let's see. Fast drafts. Let's see. We're 20 minutes in the 10th round. I think I know where I'm going here. Maybe. Corum's a good pick right there. Albert, good to see you. What's going on? Crap. Maybe I don't know where I'm going.
I feel like you need a wide receiver or a quarterback.
I just don't. I don't care for this tier of wide receiver at all. So I'll just take Dak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that.
Yeah, take Dak or J-Lo there. I'm not aggressively reaching for Brock Bowers here. I mean, it's not aggressive at all, but I'm just not. I mean, he's picked 78, so it's a little bit against ADP, but I don't know. I'm still not really feeling 100% confident in Brock Bowers. Call me crazy. Taylor says, J-Dub, stop sniping me. Yeah, hard with this crowd to not get sniped.
Don't worry. J-Dub is a snipe master.
No, Michael might be the snipe master at 1.1 tonight. Didn't even come in the chat. It's just quietly out there drafting a double tight end team.
Kelsey Ingram double tight end team.
2 wide receivers.
Mahomes. That's like a crazy 3-pick stretch right there.
Michael would draft these teams that make no sense and then just are really good the whole season. So I never question what he ends up putting together.
Never doubt.
Top available players right now: Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, Hawkinson, Tua. 4 out of 5 quarterbacks. And then really Schultz, Goff, Daniels, Herbert, Komet. I mean, almost exclusively tight ends and quarterbacks at the top of the rankings right now. All right, into the 11th we go. 4 more rounds. Like I said, 1 additional bench spot tonight.
God, this tier of wide receiver feels kind of so icky.
It is icky, but this is where there's good value. I mean, these are the picks that are important, right?
None of these guys are staying on your team. It's the guys we've never. These are the cut fodder.
I don't know.
Maybe you'll find one.
Well, it's important I try and identify if they are going to be guys that stay on teams, because I think there's an argument for a lot of these guys right now. Shaheed and Myers, I like. Palmer, we've talked a lot about. Dotson, Cooks. A lot of people like Shakir. You're going to be lower on some guys. I'm still not 100% in on Curtis Samuel. Not 100% in on Jerry Jeudy, but there's reasons to argue for them, I suppose. Wow. This might be a little early, but there's just not players that I like. So I'm just going to take players that I do like. So Kmet and Tavion Wicks. Now, this current tier wide receivers: Mike Williams, Xavier Leggett, Josh Downs, Troy Franklin, Jalen Polk, Quinn Johnson, Roman Wilson, Adam Thielen. That's a tier that I just really grossed out by.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
Jordan Love, a nice little fall for you.
Yeah, that helped. Now, do I do what I want to do right here? Do I do what I want to do right here?
Do it.
Okay. Gonna do it. Gonna do it.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Gotta get some Viking love in there.
Oh, that's just pure upside play. I almost took Schultz just to roll because I knew they needed a tight end coming up.
Yeah, I almost went back to back tight end in the 11th and 12th, but I'm okay with Cole Kmet here, I guess. And then because there's the additional bench spot, I'll definitely come out of this draft with two tight ends.
Yeah, you gotta go double tight end.
Cameron says the wide receivers aren't staying on our team, but the running backs might. Yeah, I mean, you are taking. I always say these are the dart throw rounds. Outside of like, I mean, for a lot of times, quarterback in these rounds, like you're just, you have to identify who you like and who you don't like and why, and let them become part of your roster. Was banking on Palmer falling because his ADP is ridiculous on here. Yeah, I do feel like he's well, let's see. In terms of, because my mind is like really imprinted in Underdog ADP. So Palmer's still Lad McConkey, I'm sorry, in the 7th. So yeah, that's a pretty steep difference in rounds there. I think Palmer's going to rise up draft boards though. And yeah, when you're drafting with a crowd like this, like even if you like a quote unquote sleeper, like you got to be prepared to take them. Chase, good to see you, bro. What's up? Cameron says he's happy with Palmer there. Shane says I missed Lloyd. Would rather have him. Oh, Marshawn Lloyd over Pearsall. I still like Pearsall there, but two different positions. All right, back on the board, and
Lad McConkey is Herbert's number 1 wide receiver. We talk or not Lad McConkey. Yeah, is it? No, not McConkey. Whatchamacallit?
Quinn Johnson.
No, yeah, the Mr. Drops a lot. Thank you.
I mean, realistically,
that's a troll. Yeah, there is no number 1 wide receiver. There is no number 1 wide receiver.
Well, it's probably like McConkey in the slot. So like PPR wise, he probably has the most value, right? Palmer, I've talked about this before on the stream. I think in the red zone is going to hold a lot of value. And the bigger problem I have is how is Palmer going to match up against like number 1 corners that are good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've never seen. Yeah, he did okay as like every now and then against number 2 corners, and he was kind of more.
But
sneak.
He has had a history of chemistry with Herbert in the red zone, so like I'm okay with where he's going in drafts. And then Quinn Johnson, I'm not there.
Can't catch a football. But I'm worried that they're not even going to throw the football in the red zone. They're going to run it 4 times. They're just going to run it every play.
Yeah. Chance, what's up, man? I could be Herbert's number 1 option. Probably so.
This is accurate.
See, but Palmer's the only one with established chemistry, right? Which is something I talk about a lot. Like that's always super, super important. You look back to last year. I mean, it's hard to forget Palmer was also hurt a lot last year. And Taylor says Palmer did really well when Allen and Williams were constantly hurt. When both of them were hurt, see, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they were both hurt when they were both hurt at the same time.
There was a point where both of them were hurt, but I don't remember if that was last year or 2022, or maybe even both, because those guys are so banged up. He had a really big game against Kansas City, and I think
Keenan Allen didn't play the last 5 weeks or 4 weeks, so it would have been then.
He had a big game against everyone had a big game week 15 against Vegas.
This is true.
I'd have to look a little bit deeper into
9
that one.
and 11.
Yeah. I do very much like Palmer where he's going in draft, so for sure.
He's the new injury guy now for the Chargers.
Well,
They got to have one.
Just let it be Quinn Johnson. No offense, Quinn Johnson, but
Yes, offense. You're trash. You can't catch a football.
All right, let's do it.
Oh boy, I actually really like this team. I really like the team I have tonight.
All right, Cats, you had to do it. Had to go
Trevor.
I mean, honestly, Trevor in the 13th, I'm completely okay with. And Njoku and Bowers, I'll take that. You know, I'm still a little shaky on Njoku, those big games that we saw last year, Joe Flacco games, but he did have some full PPR, some other double-digit games spread out in there. So I think that's a fair enough combo. Kyron, Ramondre, Zach Moss, Chandler, and Dowdle. Good enough. Ramondre, really nice value there. AJ Brown, Waddle, Pickens, Dunze, Deontay, Jerome Baker, or Javon Baker. Sorry. I don't know why his profile picture looks so like off compared to all the other ones.
Side profile over here.
I know.
UCF doing it different. It's his college pick.
I know. Jermaine Burton's kind of like weird too, but when you see the little one, it looks weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, your first, your wide receivers through the first 7 rounds, very, very good here. So starting T-Lon and Njoku, Kyron and Ramondre, AJ Brown, Waddle, Pickens. And I'm going to argue they're going to flex Deontay Johnson to start, but Roma Dunze really nice to have there on the bench. Zach Moss fine on the bench. Will Chase Brown take that over? I don't know. Zach Moss still fine in the 8th. Chandler and Dowdle fine where you got him. So good team. Mike, what's up, dude? What is this team? All right, we got Mahomes and Purdy. Yep, Purdy, the final pick of the draft tonight. I almost went Purdy in like the 13th or 14th just because he was still there, but 3 tight ends. Kelsey, Ingram, Freiermuth, Henry, Chubb, and Ford. So this is what Mike would do: is he would end up trading like a tight end and Brock Purdy for a running back or like whatever. Because that's what he always does in our leagues. But Evans, Ridley, Shakir, Cooks, Quentin Johnson, speaking of. So this is a weird build, Michael, but I've seen you come out of things like this. So I don't know. I would not draft this team personally, but you do have like some top tier studs here. I mean, you're starting Mahomes and Kelsey, C-Mac and Henry, which so like, in my opinion, quarterback, tight end, running back 1 and 2 are like locked in there. Then you're starting Evans and Ridley. And then you just got to figure out the flex. And I think Ford, you got the Browns backfield locked up here. And it's like, I think Shakir and Cooks could contribute definitely in the flex. So this is an interesting build for sure. And gosh, if you can just get the flex figured out, this team could be really nice. But do I trust Ridley ultimately as a wide receiver too? I would prefer him in the flex is another issue too. So all right, let's see. J-Dubs, thank you for gifting another membership. Goes to Albert. Enjoy the 1 month membership. Taylor, what's up, bro? All right, we got Kyler and Kincaid. Beautiful. Say no more. Bijan, Connor, Chase Brown, Vidal, Roshan Johnson. Basically a hero running back build. I mean, I'm not like fully confident in the depth here, but I think that Chase Brown and Vidal will contribute as season goes on. And Connor's probably fine as RB2. Olave, Neighbors, Cooper, Rice, Dobbs, Leggett, Downs. Good wide receiver room. So starting Kyler and Kincaid. Bijan and Connor, Olave, Cooper, flexing Neighbors. Theoretically flexing Rice, but in the meantime, he could flex Dobbs. And I think Leggett and Downs are perfectly fine where he took them. So solid team. All right, Cameron at the 1-2. Hurts and Pitts. Say no more. You could make your fantasy team name my armpits hurts.
My pits hurt.
Yeah, my pits hurts. Najee, Brian Robinson, Eckler, McLaughlin. We got a Ray Davis truther out here. You guys are out there strong this year. Nothing wrong with that in the 14th. So Lamb, Smith, Adams, Flowers, Shaheed, Palmer, Mike Williams. So yeah, I mean, this is basically a 0 RB build, but you also go quarterback tight end early. Considering he did both things, his team I think is okay, actually. Starting Hurts, Pitts, Lamb, Smith, Adams, Flowers. That's really nice in itself. Then you're just rotating these running backs and using the waiver wire as much as you can. So you're starting Najee and Brian Robinson. Maybe Eckler creeps on him there. Maybe to start both Washington running backs. I don't know. McLaughlin's getting touches right now. People are freaking out. Ray Davis could see touches behind Cook. And then Shaheed Palmer, Mike Williams, fine on the bench. I mean, some people are in on Mike Williams. Some people aren't. He's fine in the 12th round as your final receiver. So I don't know. That outside of running back, though, Hurts, Pitts, Smith, Adams, Flowers, Lamb is really, really solid. And I've seen teams like this really work, but you're just rotating that RB1 and 2 all season long, and it can be scary at times. All right, 110. What's up, J-Dubs? Stroud in the 9th, a great value for you. Got Schultz and Henry. Fair enough. Aggressive wide receiver tonight. 5 wide receivers through the first 5 rounds. Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Metcalf, Dell, McLaurin, Jermaine Burton. Can't really complain here. Monty Brooks, Warren, Zeke, Kendre Miller. So basically another 0 RB team here. First RB gone in the 6th. And I could certainly, once again, see this team work. I mean, you're starting Stroud and Schultz, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Monty Brooks, flexing Metcalf, flexing Dell, and you still got McLaurin, and like those guys can all move around. And you got other options on the bench in terms of running backs that could step up. So in a double flex PPR league, this is definitely a scary team. Chance, it is good to see you. How you been, my dude? We got Josh Allen at QB, Kittle and Otton and tight end. Is this going to be the year that Otton pops off? Because
no,
I was high on him last year. He did improve, but he did more with the receptions and targets he got. He only had 2 more targets, so I don't know. It was like the end of the year before Baker like threw the tight end a lot on the Rams or whatever. Then it didn't really happen with the Bucks. So I like Otton, but I don't know if he's going to extremely improve or not. Nonetheless, doesn't really impact this team. You draft him the 14th. Jacob Swift, Singletary, Algier, Hill, Ayuk, Kirk, J-Mo, Myers, Davis, Douglas. I mean, single quarterback redraft. This team is fine. Starting Allen and Kittle, Jacobs and Swift, Hill, Ayuk, Kirk. They just got to kind of figure out that last flex. J-Mo, Myers, even Davis and Douglas, I think, have a shot there. So Singletary maybe takes over Swift, potentially. I'll lean Swift, but I like J-Mo in the flex. I can see why people would argue against it, and I think Myers could be the guy who steps up for you. So good enough. You got lots of upside at quarterback and tight end. Hill, Ayuk, Kirk through the first 5 rounds, very nice. Jacobs and Swift, good enough as RB1 and RB2. So Michael says team was weird tonight. It was. You gotta have some weird teams. Hit the like button.
Punch
Do it. Shane, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. We got Burrow and Goff. Burrow's one of those quarterbacks I always talk about. Maybe take a second guy behind them. So Andrews at tight end, fine. Mixon, Mostert, Pollard, Charbs, Gibson, Eli Mitchell. Good enough. Chase, Collins, Debo, Lockett, Ricky Pearsall. So let's see. You're starting Burrow, Andrews, Mixon, Mostert at RB2. Pollard can contribute there too. I still think Mostert is actually fine as RB2. Then Chase, Collins, Debo, and he can flex Pollard, flex Lockett. I'm not ready to say he can flex Charbs, but he's a good bench running back. Well, let's see what Pearsall does. So Lockett or Pollard in the flex. Good enough bench players. Good enough squad. I feel like Pat Freiermuth could be my tight end, and I flex Ingram and Kelsey. I know it's crazy. Hey, it is crazy, but this is fantasy. We'll have to see what Arthur Smith's plans for Freiermuth are. Maybe good. Ray Davis, Truthers Unite. You're leading the pack, J-Dubs. One of Khalil Herbert or Roshan is going to end up being valuable at some point. Not sure which, but I don't see Swift being a workhorse. And if he is a workhorse, I don't see him staying healthy. Well, obviously this is triggering to me, but I mean, I know that Hurts contributed heavily in the run game last year too, especially at the goal line, but Swift was basically a workhorse last year. It's not like Gainwell or Boston Scott or anyone was. Rashad Penny was like taking a lot of touches, and everyone said the same thing about Swift last year, and it just didn't happen. But better offensive line, better quarterback play, I think is safe to say. No offense to Caleb's still a rookie, right? But the Bears' offensive line is not awful. But to your point, I think taking shots on Herbert or Roshan is perfectly fine, especially in terms of their best ball ADP. And I think I might like Herbert a hair more, but it's hard to say. J-Dub says he's a Roshan truther. Swift won't be the goal line choice. You guys stop this DeAndre Swift slander on my channel. Yeah, I like both an underdog late. For sure. I agree with that, guys. Dominique with is that Andrew Luck on your thumbnail?
That is Andrew Luck on a Colt.
Oh, he's a Colt. Oh, I see. He's a Colts fan too. Beautiful. Shout out Andrew Luck. All right, Richardson at quarterback. Not super surprising. Laporta and Nkonkwo. I still think Chicken Conquo is going to have a good season. In case anyone's wondering. Barkley, Chuba Hubbard, Braylon Allen. Okay, I mean, I really like Barkley, but you got to have more behind Barkley in a redraft league. So really aggressive wide receiver. Puka, Pittman, Reed, JSN, Watson, Mitchell, Judy, Polk. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even in a double flex, I don't think 8 wide receivers is necessary. You got to have more running backs in here. It's my only issue. I mean,
he needs a backup quarterback too.
Yeah, probably behind Richardson. You probably do. Like, you don't really need Chicken Conquo on this team. Like, you could have gotten Goff or Purdy, for example, because you have Laporta. You're good there outside of the bye week, I guess. But
we'll figure out the bye week.
Yeah, I don't even have to worry about a bye week right now if you don't want to. But I mean, I like Chuba's value, but I don't want him as my RB2. I mean, you're starting Richardson, Laporta, Barkley, Chuba, Puka, Pittman, Reed, JSN. I think it's okay to go Watson there, but then like you have to at least go Blake Corum and then like Zeke, Blake Corum and Chase Brown, Blake Corum and Charbs. And even then, like, I mean, you probably realistically need to take another running back earlier as well. If you're going to not go with, if you only took 1 or 2 of those running backs I just mentioned. So JSN, a good value in the 7th, Watson, a good value in the 8th. You got your tight end early, your quarterback early. So the board did not help you out tonight. But like maybe over Jaden Reed, you go like any of those guys there, Monty Connor, Kamara Stevenson, Jones. But it's hard to say if JSN or Watson are there. So the board didn't help you. But in a redraft league, you do not want to be going into the season with just one dependent running back. So then, yeah, I can agree with Pete. Richardson, Kyler, Burrow, Tua, Jaden Daniels, like guys who are going to get hit a lot or have an injury history. Even Lamar could be in that conversation. You probably want a QB2 who stands in the pocket. Goff, Purdy, T-Law, Herbert, whoever. Swift got 20 carries twice last season, was well under 70% of snaps most of last year. Yeah, I guess when I think about a workhorse running back, sometimes I just think like RB1, right? So that's fair to say. As a Bears fan here, I must humble your expectations, but it's fun to project Swift as a workhorse in a 3-headed RB room. Hey. Swift's snap percentage last year is comparable with Pollard's 2022 snap share in Dallas. But sometimes also it's about what they do with that snap share percentage, because Pollard was pretty good in 2022, right? So I don't know. But also, as always,
are the Bears even going to run the ball?
They ran the ball
Well, they had a quarterback who can't throw. Now they got a quarterback who can throw. So
I was going to say, because I think off the top of my head, the second most in the league last year. Like, it's something ridiculously high.
They had no quarterback and an extra
right,
running back
and now
on
they
the
have
field.
Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, second tight end behind Komet. Swift can catch the football too. And I think that's another thing why I like Swift, is because I do think that Caleb Williams will dump off to him a lot. So, I mean, I get it, and like, I got grilled all last offseason too for liking Swift, and it is what it is. I just like Swift. It's gonna be hard to change my mind. Dominique, I whiffed. Didn't mean to pick AD Mitchell or Chiggy. It's okay. It happens. It happens. But yeah, that would be a tough team, tough build. I like Pollard and Spears taking one or the other, or both, just based on their ADP for sure.
I have literally no idea what the Tennessee offense is going to look like this year.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be. I think Tennessee's a really sneaky team. I don't know.
Look at this monster.
All depends on Will Levis. So. All right, let's look at this mock draft.
This is a monster.
Jordan Love. Good value for you. Falls to the 11th. Ferguson and Hawkinson, I am okay with that. 110%. Gibbs, Taylor, Pacheco, Javonte Corum. Woo. Very nice. Diggs, Allen, Godwin, Brian Thomas Jr., Troy Franklin, Malachi Corley, all in on the rookie receivers tonight. So yeah, you're starting Love and Ferguson. You got Hawkinson down the stretch. Beautiful there. Obviously, you're set at running back. Gibbs, Taylor. You can flex Pacheco. Someone goes down. You got Pacheco there. I mean, you could have 3 top 8 running backs easily here. Javonte and Blake Corum, great bench running backs to have as well. Guys that could contribute, even with those other guys contributing. So then you're starting Diggs, Allen, and flexing Godwin. I think you'd end up flexing Pacheco with this team.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Thomas Jr. can definitely step into that role. But then you get like 2 nice upside rookie picks in Franklin and Corley, who can definitely contribute too.
And I get an extra roster spot with Hawkinson.
That's true.
So I can pick somebody up.
That's true. So yeah, I mean, I think with like Diggs, Allen, you might see less targets, receptions at times. But the upside on this team comes from running back. And then you have a stable quarterback and tight end. So I like it. And a lot of people really like Brian Thomas Jr. right now. So
well, yeah, and he doesn't have to contribute early. Like, I don't need my rookies to do anything early. Yeah. The 3-headed monster is going to carry the day. And then maybe that's where you see Diggs and Allen fall off. Like, I feel like they're going to have early starts, and then maybe they fade towards the end of the season. So that's where the rookies can kind of fill in. That running back room is the best running back room I've drafted, I think.
Yeah, Pacheco really fell back there a bit. A lot of wide receivers taking the 3rd. Worked out for you. I might go Watson over Brian Thomas Jr., but it's all about preference there. I take the upside there.
I really wanted Scary Terry instead of Keenan Allen right there. That would have made this team feel a lot more stable at the wide
I
receiver
prefer him over
position.
Allen too. Godwin was a nice pick for you in the 6th, though. So yeah, good team. It felt like a lot of value came to you, which always feels good.
It does feel good.
All right, let's roast my team. Prescott at quarterback. I'm not scared of no walking boot.
I saw him dancing the other day. He was trying to
I saw
spell
that
some
too.
spell some I guess the rumors over there. So
Yeah, he's not worried. I'm not worried. We've got Komet and Musgrave. He could argue against his tight end room, but whatever. Late round tight end. I seem to always be a late round tight end guy, and it's always okay. There's not really like guys like Laporta and McBride, Kincaid hanging around the end of drafts this year, but maybe the waiver wire will open that up. We'll see. Cook, Kamara, Zamir White, Edwards. I'm okay with this in redraft. Even in full PPR, I get 2 guys like Cook and Kamara can contribute PPR wise. Then 2 guys like Zamir White, Gus Edwards, who are more traditional 3-down backs. So, JJ London, Moore, Hollywood. Give me that all day. Sutton, Wicks, Robinson. I like all those guys at their given ADP. So no problem for me. So starting Prescott and Komet, Cook and Kamara, JJ London, DJ Moore, Hollywood. I'd be pretty happy with that team, especially with Zamir White as an RB3 and Gus the Bus RB4. And like I said, I like Sutton where I got him, Wicks where I got him, and Demarcus Robinson's the best football player of all time. So I'd be okay with this team. Like Cameron says, besides drafting the Buffalo RB2 in the 4th round, this is a solid draft. Ray Davis Truthers coming together tonight. Fair enough. Put him on the screen for you guys.
Maybe we'll put him on the next cover.
Yeah. He does look like he's been alive.
He looks like a grown ass man.
I know. That picture does make me kind of want to draft him. All right, so there's the mock for you guys. Thank you guys for mocking. Good drafting all around. You guys are probably going to ask team of the night, which is probably my team, but I'm not allowed to say that. Just kidding. Man, I do like Cameron's team a lot. Kind of that 0 RB approach. And I usually don't see a team that's 0 RB and also goes quarterback and tight end like in the first 6 rounds or whatever. I still feel good about it. It's got it. Like Najee, Brian Robinson, Eckler, I think could actually get you through. And I just love this setup of Hurts, Pitts, Lamb, Smith, Adams, Flowers. So that one's pretty close. That might be my choice. I did like Chance's team too. Allen, Kittle, Jacob Swift, Hill, Ayuk, Kirk, J-Mo. And J-Dubs had a really good squad too for going 0 running back. That's tough. 0 RB only works if you go quarterback tight end early. So I'm surprised to hear you say that. Well, I think I've seen a lot of builds where they just go aggressive at wide receiver. Maybe I'm thinking more underdog teams. And then you go quarterback or tight end early, or you just get a Ferguson in the 8th round, Ingram in the 7th, and then you get like a Prescott or Purdy, Jordan Love. So I don't know. I've seen some teams that I feel okay where they don't do that. But then you're probably taking an RB in the 6th. Like you're probably not going to go 6 wide receivers in a row. All right. Beautiful mock. There it is. Wow, we are really big on the screen.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Take that off.
Gonna break people's screens.
I'm gonna do an underdog draft.
All right. I'm probably gonna hop off then. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It was fun.
Let everyone say bye to Pete.
Bye, guys. Watch our shorts.
Watch our shorts. Do it.
Watch our shorts. Share it with friends. Share the channel with friends who you're not playing fantasy against.
And once you draft your team, send it to the rest of them.
There you go. You can do. Well, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
We make our money in the waiver wires during this season. It's where we make that's our bread and butter, baby.
I guess that's true.
No,
Pete, thank you as always.
We'll see you guys. Soon, fun. Probably hop in the chat here in a bit, but I gotta go record some stuff for my own channel.
Man.
So,
appreciate you,
guys.
Peace. All right, just me. Let's do a fast puppy, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm hopping into the lobby right now. 9 spots. Get in the lobby. Fill the spots as quickly as possible. Okay. Shane, J Dubs, Cameron, Taylor. I know you guys are out there. 3 spots. Get in the lobby. Okay. Oh, we're filled. I was about to say. All right. Right next to J Dubs. I'm scared. All right. As I talked about in last night's stream, a couple things I'm doing right now. I'm going aggressive at wide receiver to start 4 wide receivers in a row. Or I'm going hero running back. I'm drafting a tight end of value of Jake Ferguson or earlier. And for the most part, I'm going early quarterback, although there was at least one team last night where I felt when I went, where I did not go, like I went quarterback too late, and I started to map out late round quarterbacks, and then I didn't get Geno Smith. And there's one where I came to I had to go Derek Carr, Bo Nix, and then I'm starting to think okay, I need to at least take a quarterback at some point that just give me CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. I don't want to get too comfortable going quarterback extremely late. I love that pick, J Dubs. So I'll continue to go with my strats here. Dude, I wanted to start, I wanted to have a draft tonight where I started with a running back in the first and go hero running back so badly. And there goes Chase at the 1-4. So part of me was thinking about doing what you just did. I'm not even lying. And I really want to get higher exposure to Breece Hall as well. And actually, so let me see here. My exposure, I think my exposure to Hall and Bijan is really low. I mean, I'm talking because oh my gosh, how bad is it? Have I drafted either of them? Okay, Bijan's 3.3 and Hall's also 3.3. Okay. At first I was like, do I have no shares of them? Oh yeah, they're both at the okay. But once again, a lot of you guys know this and have heard me talk about this. I just have drafted from the now 70% of my drafts are from the 1.1 to the 1.5. And I'm just not getting those later round picks for whatever reason. And Bijan, Hall, and Gibbs are just not players that are ending up on a lot of my teams. And I'm not feeling great about that because I do want exposure to those guys. So I don't know what to do about it other than aggressively start to reach for them. I think if you're at the 1.6, the 1.5, it's whatever. But especially when I'm in a place where I still feel like starting out heavy at wide receiver is so important that it's just hard to pass on that top tier wide receivers. But I don't think it's a bad thing, but I have pretty high exposure to Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and CeeDee Lamb, at least compared. And Lamb's only at 10%. And Amon-Ra, I admittedly have drafted over JJ and Chase quite a few times. He's at 23.3. And then, yeah, I've had a lot of drafts from the 1.2. So Tyreek Hill's at 20%. And even then, like, Chase is at 3.3. And I would think JJ was a little bit. JJ's at 6.7. So that's actually not that bad for how many drafts I've essentially done. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, back on the clock. And like all these players at the turn right here. Like I like all these guys. I really truthfully do. But I just have a lot of shares of Mike Evans, Devonta Smith, DJ Moore. And like I'm not complaining, like, but I just want that exposure to be switched up as well. I was hoping Smith would fall. There goes Metcalf. Let me think here. I got Lamb. All right, I want to go Derrick Henry and just go hero running back, but I kind of regret the 20-second clock can be a little bit difficult times, but I kind of regret not going Cup and Kyron because once again, like talking about consistently being in this position at the 1.1 or the 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, whatever, and having a lot of shares of the same guys, like at that point, like you might as well make your draft like a strategic approach. And if I just go Kyron and Cup right there at the 211 and 3.2, then it's like, okay, I don't have Puka Nakua on this team, but now I can go with Matthew Stafford as a late round quarterback. I can go Blake Corum late. You know, their tight end is basically an undrafted player. Colby Parkinson's ADP is 208.6. So it's like, I can go in on the Rams offense and get a potential stack there. Demarcus Robinson, of course, in the mix too. His ADP is moved up a little bit, but he's at 169.3. So I might be part of the problem there, but he's definitely moved up too. So at that point, like I said, you might as well make your draft intentional. And instead, I just draft two guys that I already have pretty decent exposure to. Henry is tied with Pacheco for my second most drafted running back. Sorry, at 30%. Gus Edwards is my most drafted running back. And then Mostert and Barkley at 26.7. Evans has got to be pretty high. He's at 13.3. Not too bad. Collins, Godwin, Jones, Zay Jones, Evans, Ayuk, Cooks. Those are all my players at 13.3. So whatever. All right. So for me at 47 and what is that, 50? Probably just going back to back wide receiver here. And this is just a tempting spot to go Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes has fallen back a bit since I've started going late round quarterback. Okay, and Mahomes is gone, but he was my most drafted quarterback for a minute there. So I'm going to go Higgins. And I'm going to hope that Hollywood Brown falls here. And if he doesn't, I'll go. That's a nice little stack pickup there, too, in Lamar and Andrews. McBride and Kincaid are screaming at me right now. I'll go Hollywood Brown. Because I think for kind of a hero RB build here, with getting Henry in the third, that still makes me feel really good about my first 4 wide receivers, having CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Higgins, and Hollywood. So there goes Pitts. But McBride and Kincaid, tough to pass on there. J-Dubs goes Pitts, and he has Bijan, so I wonder what his plans are later in this draft. I kind of... Once again, my exposure to Kincaid is way lower. It's at 10%. It's way lower than I want it to be. And even McBride, I think, is lower. Yeah, he's at 3.3. Like, those are 2 guys that I'm really trying to get my exposure up on. I pass on both of them for Hollywood Brown, Hollywood Brown's my second most drafted wide receiver. He's one of those guys at his ADP I just have a really tough time passing on. Jada's on correlating. Washington faces Atlanta week 17. No, I wasn't saying that in a bad way. I was just saying, I wonder if Kirk Cousins is going to be part of your draft later on. But okay, McLaurin. Yeah, not really any other Washington players that would be around just yet. All right, so one running back for me thus far we got picks 71 and 74. J-Dubs, have you ever seen... I was watching another streamer use this. I don't really feel like paying for it, but it's called like... I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was like an overlay that you can download, and you can put it like over any Underdog draft. And like, oh my God, I'm going to explain this so poorly, but it's basically like, like if you wanted to see like all week 17 matchups, like you could plug that in and it goes over like every single player, right? Or if you want to see your exposure to all your players, like you could plug that in and it goes over all the players like during the draft. And like I said, I don't really feel like paying for it, but I was like, this is actually pretty intriguing. The matchup thing I thought was definitely really cool. All right, so what picks? I might risk it for the biscuit here. There's Brian Thomas. Give me Christian Watson. I feel like wide receivers are really falling. This is a tough because I really like Deontay Johnson. Monty and Kamara are here. Definitely like them as RB1, RB2. I'm going to go Evan Ingram, though. I'm going to be really mad if Jake Ferguson falls to 95, but I've got a pretty solid wide receiver room here. We're still strictly hero running back. J-Dubs, I have it from Pat's channel, Fantasy Dog Pound. Yeah, I'm familiar with him. So, okay, I guess a lot of people use those. I'm going to look into that and kind of see what it's all about. See where I go from there. But yeah, in terms of like figuring out correlation, what do you think is the easiest way to do so? I mean, obviously, like, you can just look at the schedule, but if you want to be lazy, like What do you think is the easiest way, or like, is there just like a good site to refer to, or do you think it's other content creators? All right, so I got picks 99, 95, and 98. Pretty cheap at the promo, $20. Is that $20 a month or like a year? Yeah, I feel like the overlay is probably super helpful. Man, why'd this guy take Dak Prescott from me? That team's kind of drafting strange. But is there really such thing as drafting strange? $20 a month. I was about to say, I guess it's not too bad when it's only only using it for 3 months. I'll look into it. I will look into it. I think I'm just going best available running backs for these next two picks. Starting to draft these teams, like true hero running back teams, where like I'm good at my RB1. Then after that, it's kind of like, am I good? Find out. Yeah, so Ferguson doesn't last. So I'm happy I go Ingram there, but I was really tempted to go Deontay Johnson or go with an RB2. We see quite a few, 6 running backs off the board there in round 7 with Ramondre Stevenson, Monty, Kamara, Jones, Brooks, Najee. And now quarterback's making a little bit of a run here, kind of end of the 7th and through the 8th. Kyler Murray, CJ Stroud, Prescott, Burrow all gone. Go Zach Moss. Why do I find Cortland Sutton like? What is my exposure to Sutton? It's got to be high, 26.7. Watson, I have a lot of. I mean, he's at 26.7 also. Dobbs tied there. I don't know. All right. Team 1 is basically 0 running back. I'm gonna go Mostert, but I really want Swift. I don't know why. I feel like Swift has a higher chance of falling because people don't like him, and people secretly like Mostert no matter what they tell you. I don't even know if Team 1's drafting. Why did it have to be Swift? All right, couple guys. I'm okay. If I got Swift there, I'd be like super happy with this team right now. But I'll take Tony Pollard, I guess. If I got Swift there, I'd be really happy. Derrick Henry, Raheem Mostert, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Higgins, Hollywood Brown, Christian Watson, Evan Ingram. Swift would have been like cherry on top. I thought about going quarterback there. Prescott was already gone. Thought about going Love and getting Watson. I mean, with already having Watson. But I have pretty high exposure. Jordan Love's lower than I thought. 10%. Okay. I guess that makes sense because your late round quarterbacks, QB2s, QB3s, can end up being some of the same guys. So, all right, I got picks 119, 122. See what happens. I really wish I got DeAndre Swift. Oh well. We don't need another DeAndre Swift debate, I guess. I'm probably just going back-to-back running backs for these next 2 picks. But I might go quarterback or wide receiver. I don't know. I don't want to sleep on quarterback too much again. It's slowly thinning out here. I'm not really in a position, like I'm in a position once again where I got to draft Dak Prescott if I want to stack. Did I say Dak Prescott? I meant to say Baker Mayfield. I don't know. We'll figure out quarterback. All right. 10th round heating up here. Man, just can't trust Jerome Ford's ADP. I was hoping he'd be there at 122. For anyone tuning in, we did a subscriber mock draft beginning of the stream. Now we're getting into some underdog action too. Javonte gone. Tavon Wick. I mean, all of my top kind of queued players just getting swiped off the board here. Trey Benson. Huh. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence here. At least get one stack with Evan Ingram. And then I'll take my RB4 with this next pick. And I do like Trey Benson and Blake Corum here. Trey Benson's gone. But I'm going to go Austin Eckler here because I feel like I need some potential upside. And I've been drafting a lot of – I mean, I have been drafting Eckler lately, but I've been drafting Blake Corum a lot in that range too. I don't know. Maybe not upside is the right word, but I need potential for like starting capability right off the bat, which I think Corum will get it down the stretch. 10% drafted for Corum. Eckler's at 23.3. Eckler and Tony Pollard are the 2 players, and Pollard's only at 10%, but I feel like I just always end up drafting them. Pollard's relaxed a little bit, but there's a point this offseason where he was just popping up on a lot of teams. So, all right, picks 143, 146. So at some point, need another tight end. And I got to start looking at wide receivers as well. And at some point, I'll need to draft another running back. But at this point in the draft, like, I'm just taking 2 shots, maybe 1 shot on later guys. And, man, if I just got DeAndre Swift on this team, I'd be feeling so great right now. I still feel pretty okay about this team overall. We got T-Law and Ingram, Henry Mostert, Pollard, Eckler, Lamb, Evans, Higgins, Hollywood, and Christian Watson. All right. There goes Mooney. Top available players are Josh Downs, Jahan Dotson, Marshawn Lloyd, Nick Chubb, Kendre Miller, and Ty Chandler. Jados, I'm assuming you're going to go Jahan Dotson because I really like Dotson at 143. He's another guy who I just feel like is just kind of always there. Or you go Josh Downs. Okay, I'll go Dotson. Let's go. Yeah, he's just always kind of there. And I have pretty high exposure to him too. 26.7. I mean, he's drafted just as much as Sutton, Watson, and Dobbs. Yeah, I don't think the guy at the 1.1 is drafted and he keeps sniping me. I really want to commit here. Maybe he is drafted. It's just weird the way his picks keep showing up. Okay, this is a tough pick. Oh, I missed my pick. Oops. I guess I got Cousins. Okay. Why do Cousins and T-Law have the same bye week, of course? Yeah, this was a spot where I felt like tight end, wide receiver, running back, and quarterback, there's all good value here. Ricky Pearsall, Jermaine Burton, Demario Douglas, Chuba Hubbard, Vidal, McLaughlin, Hawkinson, Musgrave. I got Cousins there, but Stafford, Rogers, Watson, like plenty of names. So that was a tough pick. I don't really care that I got Cousins because I felt like all around just good players available. But I really wanted Komet there. And I thought he'd be there. Got Mark Andrews. I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, a lot of those picks for that guy at the 1.1 are going like down to the last second, and then his next pick doesn't. So I don't know. He keeps sniping me. Oh, I sniped you. Oh, I did. See, when I'm drafting with you guys, I try not to pay attention too much to your teams. And I even talked about this earlier. But to be fair, I didn't actually that if you go back and watch, that time truly expired on me. My bad. I forgot that you had Pitts and Bijan. But yeah, I try not to pay too much attention that way and not like potentially shifting the draft in any way. But now I feel bad because I would be happy with Stafford there. And then there might be guys like Rogers or Watson who are around at this next pick that I like Cousins or Stafford more than those two, but sorry. It happens. And I have no reason to have Cousins on this team other than, I think he'll be fine at quarterback. So, man, I was hoping Chuba or Algier would fall. I didn't really expect Chuba to be there. I thought maybe Algier would. Goes Rogers. How many picks do we have left? Quite a few. Goes Watson. So it's actually getting kind of heavy at quarterback here. We're starting to see Will Levis get drafted a little bit earlier too. I really wonder if Antonio Gibson's going to contribute in any significant way this season. Oh, there goes Gibson. All right, so I don't trust team one to not take the player that I need, so I'll just take Baker in case. I didn't really anticipate this being a 3 quarterback build, but it is what it is. And then now it's like, do I kind of reach for Cade Otton as my tight end 2? Or do I try and draft Demarcus Robinson? Just because I like him. And he'd be a really nice wide receiver 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna continue the stack and I'll go Cade Otton here. I've drafted a lot of Demarcus Robinson. He's my most drafted player in Underdog, and he'd be this is a really solid team at wide receiver. He'd been a great wide receiver 7. I mean, we got T-Lock, Cousins, Mayfield, Henry, Mostert, Pollard, Eckler, and then Lamb, Evans, Higgins, Hollywood, Watson, Dotson. So I would have loved Demarcus Robinson there. And then Ingram and Otton at tight end, and we still have 3 picks. So I'll probably draft 1 more wide receiver and 2 just dart throw running backs. And this, because it's a 3 quarterback build, it's probably just going to be a 2 tight end build with Ingram and Cade Otton. But if value at tight end outweighs, I mean, this is a team that'd be fine with 6 wide receivers, I think. So we'll kind of see what happens. I do still wish these were 20 rounds, but that's just because I get why they're not. But I feel like my team could always be just a smidge better if we had 2 more rounds. All right. 15th round. Wrapping up here. We will be moving into the 16th shortly. I know he's not going to fall, but I'll be so happy if Chicken Conquo. I mean, not Chicken Conquo. If Demarcus Robinson falls. Can you guys tell I'm tired? Need a 10-second clock. Those were fun with the overlay in hand. I don't know how else I'd be able to do those. I mean, maybe if I had an overlay, but I could probably handle a 10-second clock. What is that? There's still like over. I mean, it just depends on how fast people draft. If they go, because they're not going to use the whole clock, but you have about a minute per round, which if you're like ready, I think is probably enough. Draft should only take 30 minutes. Now that I'm all for. Yeah, I knew this guy was going to take Demarcus Robinson because he has Stafford. What a jerk. And there goes my boy, Chicken Conquo. All right, just give me some running back help here. And then I'll basically just take a dart throw wide receiver to end. This was a pretty heavy running back draft. Dude, this guy is sniping me left and right. Wanted Herbert with this next pick. I mean, I guess I'll just go Roshan Johnson. Could go Donta Foreman. I'll just go Roshan. I don't care. So yeah, that gives us some additional running back help. Damian Pierce, Roshan Johnson. It's not beautiful, but is what it is. So yeah, 6 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 3 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. 4 QB drafters really screwed up this draft for me. I'll bet on Purdy. Is he your only quarterback? Yeah. I mean, where are you going? Russell Wilson, Justin Fields? They might even get taken. So you got Bijan, Brian Robinson, Corum, Gibson, Davis, Tyrone Tracy, Ayuk, Neighbors, McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay, Downs, Pearsall, McMillan, Pitts, and Bowers. Nice. I do think he ended up getting pretty decent value for RB2, RB3. You can go Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. It's fair. I am starting to see those Pittsburgh quarterbacks move up a little bit or just become more commonly drafted. Which one do I like? I think I like Aiden O'Connell, but once again, I talked about this before. Like, I really think that both are going to play. I think Aiden O'Connell is going to start this season, and I think Minshew is going to play in the second half. For either Aiden like not playing well or not playing good enough, or like you just know there's another guy on this team that can play, or maybe he gets hurt. Like no reason to really speculate that Aiden O'Connell gets hurt, but yeah, I just think that we're gonna see them both play. If I had to pick one, I guess I'd pick Aiden O'Connell. But don't listen to me. I would personally draft. Well, you can't draft Justin Fields. Wow. Yeah, please do the opposite of what I say. Zay Jones, DJ Chark, Odell Beckham. It doesn't matter here, but I'm taking one of these guys. I have Bowers. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I forgot about that. All right, nice little underdog draft to end things out there for tonight's stream. J-Dubs, thank you for drafting with me. We did it. We did another one. I'm loving me some fast puppies. Here we go. I got T-Law with Ingram. Cousins for no reason. Baker with Mike Evans and Cade Otton. Henry, Mostert, Pollard, Eckler, Damon Pierce, Roshan Johnson, Lamb, Evans, Higgins, Hollywood, Watson, Dotson, DJ Chark. I actually like this team. I think this is a solid entry. We stayed true to the strategy, and we were. If I got DeAndre Swift, I would have been so happy with the team. It would have been Henry, Swift, Mostert, Eckler. Would be the only difference, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this team. The Cousins pick, maybe we could take that one off too. I didn't really need that one. J-Dubs, you got Purdy, Minshew. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be riding Purdy for sure. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Bijan, you got both the Robinsons, Bijan and Brian Robinson. Corum, Gibson, Davis, Tyrone Tracy, Ayuk, Neighbors, McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay. I feel like you drafted a lot of Neighbors. Downs, Ricky Pearsall, McMillan, Pitts, and Bowers. And I sniped you, man. I sniped you on Cousins. I really feel bad about that. And I didn't need Cousins. That was just there was a lot of value there. Pearsall, Hawkinson, Douglas, Burton. I mean, truthfully, if I had just gone wide receiver there, or even running back like with Vidal. But truthfully, if I didn't go quarterback, I think I would end up going Hawkinson or Musgrave. I think I was leaning Hawkinson in my head too, which I don't really feel like I needed him for this team. So I either would have had an additional wide receiver or Vidal or Chuba. I was actually considering Chuba ahead of ADP, or a 3 tight end build compared to 3 quarterback build. So thank you, J-Dubs. I will take a look at that for sure. Appreciate that. Closing line ADP based on where ADP is opened up at compared to most drafts. Interesting. I will use all the tools possible. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Great mock draft. Great underdog draft. Bonus draft. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great start to the week. Everyone be safe. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the catch, fam. I'll talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the catch. And peace.